because you can't drink and talk at the same time.
Leave the conversation to us and order another beer.
You're listening to Texas's live
Midday
beer-centric show, Liquid Lunch.
Liquid Lunch.
With producer Perry,
Kennedy and Schaumburg. Here are your hosts,
Catherine Contreras,
and Josh Stewart.
Hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hooray for beer!
Oh, sorry. Let's turn this headphones on there. Boom. There we go. Thumbs up from everybody. Excellent. Welcome into Liquid Lunch live on November 2nd, 2017. As the music plays on, I'll fade it out. The music is? Oh, wait. Everybody's headphones? TD might get on it. Don't strain your other calf.
Yeah, it's a little better.
Don't strain your other calf. We good? And then the music just cuts out like that. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
we're good.
Perfect. We're off to a great start. Welcome to Liquid Lunch, everybody. It's International Stout Day. Isn't it also Day of the Dead? Is that today? Or is that yesterday?
so, yeah.
Today? So,
First second.
Dia de los Muertos in my... And our inaugural Stouts and Stogies event. So
There you go.
We're at Bearded Fox. We've got Forbes Henderson from Lone Star Tobacco over in the Vintage here in the Houston. Is that Tomball? Houston? That's Houston.
It's Houston.
Houston proper. Right there on Louetta and 249. Really cool spot tucked back there on the backside.
Yeah.
When you're on 249. I guess if you're on the other side, it's on the front side.
Yeah, it's kind of like the main drag.
Yeah. Very cool. How long have you guys been open? It's been a while, right?
We've been open since 1981.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Family business?
Yeah, my dad started it in May of 1981.
Okay.
And I got into it kind of about 07, 08.
Okay.
And I've been smoking cigars for a long time, but, out in the real world, and decided he didn't want to sell it, and got into it and moved it to the Vintage in 2010. Been there ever since.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Very cool. And you guys offer high, cigars of all shapes, sizes.
Cigars, pipes, accessories, and, lots of cigars.
Yeah.
Great cigars.
I went by, my wife and I actually went on a date night a couple years ago, and I wanted to, I'm like, okay, I'm in my mid-30s now. I need to start, something sophisticated. So,
Need to be distinguished.
yeah, so I got a corncob pipe. I was like, I'm going to try this
There
out.
you go.
There
That's
you
the
go.
way to start
And-
it right there.
It may have been your dad. I'm not sure. It was a while back. Anyway, we'd had a few drinks as well. And I was like, what's your favorite blend of pipe tobacco? And so he gave me something. It had, said Chippendale, maybe? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that was a blend he came up with. It was our best-selling pipe tobacco is Piccadilly,
Okay.
and we just name it that. It's that and Nutcracker, which is a nugget from Peter Stokeby. So
Okay.
it's just a 50-50 blend of that.
Well, it's been great. How
Yeah.
long is that supposed to last? Because
It'll last a long time. Just in that Ziploc bag. I
Yeah.
had one in a plastic bag in my drawer for like 2 years, and
Okay.
it still smokes great.
yeah. Okay. So I just had some. Every time, if it's ever cold, especially if my wife takes the girls and they go somewhere and I watch, Lord of the Rings. I nerd out. I'm like, now I got to smoke a pipe.
There you
Sorry,
go.
that's all there is
right.
to
Get
it.
the Gandalf pipe.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Was that a church warden's pipe or whatever?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I've done a
Yeah,
little
we
bit of
sell
research.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to learn some stuff about the cigars, Stogies, the Stogies and the Stogies and Stouts show.
right.
Our stout today that we're pairing with said Stogies is the Stone Cold Fox from Bearded Fox here in the tap room. Randall,
There you go.
delicious.
Cheers.
You got it. Yeah.
I've got the pecan coffee porter number 48.
Close enough.
Cheers.
Dean, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking my traditional Aunt Rose.
Okay.
I didn't know stout was going on, so I'll
It's
pull a
international. If we can just say we're
Yeah.
we're
stout.
you
It could
know.
be a stout somewhere. I
Yeah.
just don't know.
The
Depends
best thing
on your
is they have a
definition.
variety across the board. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of this is pairing cigars with what you're drinking. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Dean, now how do you pronounce your last name?
Zano.
Zano. Okay, Dean Zano, friend of Bearded Fox, part of the
Oh, yeah.
Fox
From the very
Den.
brew
beginning.
crew. Yeah, and
He's the Fox Den Brew Crew.
jiu-jitsu black belt teacher.
Yes, sir. Teacher,
Okay, don't.
cigar smoker,
Oh, I got to make a jiu-jitsu joke.
beer drinker.
Now
Go
that
ahead.
now that you're live on air,
Many, many talents.
don't choke.
Don't choke. That's the key. You fall asleep if you do.
Yeah. Okay. But no, your school's name is.
Lone Star BJJ. We're located in the Streamline Fitness facility off of Huffmeister. So
Okay. It's near 290.
right near 290. Yep,
Yeah.
not too far from there. Not
Okay.
too far from here.
Yeah. No, it's like what, 15 minutes maybe? 10? I don't know. It just depends
About
on
11. No.
depends on how fast you
I
drive.
don't know why I know that. I just do.
Yeah.
So anyway, a wide swath of things. Maybe we'll learn a bit about all of it, grappling with which cigar to pair with what beer and all of that. Of course, Kennedy with me as well.
Hi,
Mike
Josh.
hobbling around. Howdy. I was going to say Catherine's on assignment, but actually her assignment is taking care of Hazel, who's running fever this morning.
It happens.
So she's on the IR. Hazel's on the IR, so that puts Catherine on the IR too until next week. So anyway, but Hazel barely smokes cigars, so it's fine. She, she's almost one. So not a huge cigar fan. I mean, she dabbles. But not not a
Connecticut
tried a
rap,
couple.
right?
yeah. Okay.
Connecticut rap
Very,
shade.
very light. Start off light.
Yes. All right. So you know what? Should we go straight into cigar talk, or should we go straight into Astros talk?
Either way, it's going to be a great talk.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's I guess hand out some cigars, or look at cigars, or do something. So
Yeah, absolutely.
What is everybody?
I got a question.
Okay.
I got a question for the cigar expert here.
Yep.
After last night's game, what is the perfect cigar to celebrate a World Series championship with, in your opinion?
The one you're smoking.
All right, okay.
Anything that you have in your hand, basically, is what it boils down to.
Yeah.
But is there
Because
one
everyone's-
that you kind of put aside,
Well-
one that's kind of up in the closet, and you say special, it's a special cigar, I'm going to pull this out, like a liquor, or like, I don't know, something guys keep their tucked away for special events?
Yeah, there are
Exactly.
some that are well aged, and a lot of guys will kind of gravitate towards Cuban cigars because of the mystique
Thank you.
behind that.
Thank you.
I smoked a Padron 45 this morning because that's
Colt
my
45s. Nice job.
the old Colt
Oh, nice.
45s,
Nice,
and
nice.
it's been my favorite go-to cigar is what I smoke on my birthdays, just what I like. So, it's just nice. So. Yeah, so there isn't any one particular one, but usually you're going to want something that's rare and what you like. So
Worthy of the event.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think cigars and good. Well, it's good anything if the finer things in life. If it's into that category, craft beer.
If it's done right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. There's what most people associate with cigars and or beer, right?
exactly.
And then there's the good stuff. There's what we got in front of us. There's
Exactly.
local, crafted, awesome, delicious, full flavored beer. Same thing.
Full flavor cigars.
Full flavored
Not
cigars.
your run of the mill. Yeah.
Right. So, beer, I know. Beer, I've been dealing with for a while. When we were looking at a good cigar, like, somebody who has dabbled a bit but doesn't know all the lingo, what are we looking for in a good cigar?
Well, it comes down to the master blenders behind those cigars and how they ferment the tobacco, how long they do that, and how long they age the tobacco, how they grow it, the soil and the land that they grow the
Terroir,
tobaccos
is that
on.
a thing? That's
Yeah, so there are a lot of great tobaccos coming out of Nicaragua, and a lot of the guys that have escaped Cuba, more or less, the rollers, blenders, have gone to Nicaragua. They call it the new Cuba.
okay.
And the soil down there looks like ground up coffee. It's very volcanic and grows a very rich, full tobacco plant.
So, is what grows good tobacco, is that similar to what grows good coffee? Is it kind of similar elements, or is it what?
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities to it.
Okay.
Same thing with wine and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they have to balance pH levels in the soils and get all the nutrients right
Okay.
to grow a great product, a great plant.
Yeah.
And trying to grow different things during the season so that let the land rest and replenish itself.
Gotcha.
Because if you just grow tobacco day in and day out, it's going to eventually just take all the nutrients from the soil.
Right.
So, they go through that process too.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, what did you bring that Mike's got the cigar
Well,
can?
I bought a Perdomo. They do a very specific beer pairing called their craft series. And the Connecticut, the Sun-Grown, and the Maduro are all in terms of that, talking about the wrapper leaf on that. So it's a blended specific to beer pairing.
Okay.
And the wrapper leaf on the Connecticut is a very light, smooth, creamy taste. So that is, they call it Connecticut because it was originally grown in Connecticut. When they grow it up there, it's there's a lot of it's cooler, it's a lot more cloud cover, and so it's a lighter shade
Okay.
of tobacco leaf. And so when they grow down in Nicaragua, they'll cover up, the fields with cheesecloth. They'll stand it up about 8-10 feet. And so that translucent light will grow a thinner, lighter leaf. And then you get to the sun-grown, and that's just how you would imagine a tobacco field growing out in the sun, just a field of tobacco. And that's just going to give you a lot more medium flavor strength and a little bit more of that pepper and spice to it.
Okay.
And Maduro is the same basically as what the sun-grown leaf is. They just go through a longer fermentation process. So it's like roasting coffee a little bit longer.
Okay.
And you get that darker leaf, takes a lot of the spice out, gives it a little more natural sweetness, changes it up.
Okay.
And so each one of these are kind of paired with that. So your Connecticut's are your Pilsners, your sun-growns, your Ambers, IPAs, and your Maduro's going to be more of your Stouts.
Okay. Cool. I dig
Double
it.
Maduro.
Yeah.
Double Maduro would be like the Imperial.
Yeah, they'll
Stout.
do that. Double Maduro will be more of the wrapper and the binder leaf. So a cigar's components are filler, binder, and wrapper.
Okay.
And so when you double Maduro, you'll do binder and wrapper leaf, both in Maduro.
Like dry hopping, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, kind of similar, yeah.
Could you dry hop a cigar? I don't know. We'll find out.
Could
I guess.
try.
Yeah, we could try it. Could you? Why not?
That's where they found all this out, was through experimentation.
So, okay, in America, where you think of like Tobacco Road, North Carolina or the Carolinas and that sort of stuff, where's the best tobacco in North America? Where is that grown? Is that along the East Coast? Is that
Along the East Coast, yeah. So the Carolinas, Virginia, Connecticut, they still grow some in Florida.
Okay.
And you could grow one here in Texas. The soil's not quite as ideal, but it will grow.
Okay.
It's just what to do with it after it's done is this process of drying it through a drying barn and how they do that, and then taking it to fermentation.
Where in Texas would be ideal for tobacco?
There's no real one particular place. They don't really grow any, cigar tobacco,
Okay.
here in Texas.
Okay.
So
Kind of like hops. You can't really grow hops in Texas.
nah,
You could try, but
Oregon,
yeah.
Washington.
You got a certain amount of sunlight and
Yeah.
like the angle of the dangle of the of the
That's right.
hop vine.
California, Oregon.
Yeah, or even like New York and that area up there, Michigan, some of that too as well. But anyway, yeah, cool. All right, so we're gonna get into some of these cigars. Randall, what do you like in a cigar? I see what you're smoking. What are you smoking there?
Yeah, Cohiba,
Okay.
Cuban, limited edition.
Did
I
you?
figured, to go along with the Sports Illustrated where they predicted the Astros in 2014. So that's what I brought in was
Oh,
a Cohiba Cuban, a limited edition in 2014.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. Dean, what did yours?
Noel Rojas. He's a boutique guy. It's a Guaycan. I get it right?
Guayacán.
Guayacán.
Yeah.
I saw him roll once.
Okay.
And just
Wait,
got turned
roll
on
like
by-
jujitsu or
No,
cigars?
roll cigars. which is fascinating, by the way, to watch someone that's a craftsman roll cigars.
Yeah.
And I got turned on by his cigars, and it's a boutique cigar, so it's something that
Yeah.
not all shops carry. I don't think, right? I mean,
No, that's very boutique. Yeah.
So, and it's not too expensive. It's $10 or $11 cigar, but
Cool.
nice, smooth. The thing I like about it does not leave a. Some guys don't like the horrible aftertaste of some cigars. There's no aftertaste in this one, at least from my palate.
Leaves a clean palate,
Leaves
yeah.
a clean palate.
Do you
correct.
now on the flavors of the cigars the same? Do you have like the finish and the all that? How do you describe the flavor of a cigar when you're tasting it or whatever? Is there?
Yeah, everybody's going to get something different off that. You get, earthy and nutty notes. You'll get some sweet and some bitter notes, some pepper. When you talk about pepper, it could be black pepper, it could be red pepper. Black pepper hitting more of the center of your tongue, and a red pepper hitting more of the side of your tongue.
Okay.
And, just depending on where the tobacco is grown will give you those different types of profiles. And, and everyone's palate's different. Some people associate pepper with harshness.
Yeah.
And other guys just love that sort of thing. It's kind of like spicy foods.
Okay.
So
It's also like beer. People like Pilsners more than anything else. Some people like Stouts. Some people like Porters. Some people like Ambers. It's like smoking a cigar is like drinking craft beer. You're going to get different flavors the whole way through.
Yeah.
You may start out one way, but you're going to finish a different way. So it's very nice.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, again, let's start technique. Lighting a cigar. Is there a proper?
Very key.
Yeah.
Right.
He'll allude to it more than anything. You can take a great cigar and,
Oh.
I hate using the phrase, but trash it based on the way you light it.
You can. So, there's very specific ways if you wanted to get down to the nitty-gritty on doing it right. So when a cigar is made and rolled, they put the cap on the end of the cigar, and they usually will triple cap it. And so you can see on the edge of the cigar where those triple caps end up being. And you don't want to cut past that. If you do, you could unravel the cigar, and you can kind of deal with that. But, if a novice, deals with it, might just unravel and say this thing's not drawn right or whatever.
Terrible cigar.
That's right. So you just want to cut the very end of it. So usually a double-sided guillotine cutter, a lot like what I brought here today, is the best way to cut it. But there's no right or wrong. I mean, some guys like to punch it. Some guys like to use a V-cutter. V-cutter can get a little deeper cut, just like he has over there.
Okay.
And you can get a deeper cut without having to do the guillotine. And sometimes gives you a better draw, and it just comes down to a preference. On lighting, you want to ideally will use a sulfur-free wooden match.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lower heat than a torch flame. You don't have the Zippo fluid that might affect the flavor of the cigar on the initial lighting. And you want to kind of roast and toast the end of the cigar without it being directly in the flame. If a lot of guys that put the flames very close to the cigar can blacken the edge of the cigar, and that's very common to do, will take away from the flavor, at least for that first minute or so.
Yeah.
And so if you want to get away from that, roast it to where it's away from the flame and get it nice and lit, and then puff on it. And then I always look at the end of the cigar and blow back on it and see how well I have it lit. So you want to light it even.
You do that before you take a drag off it? You'll roast it, right?
Yeah. Before I take a drag, roast it and then put it in your mouth. Take a drag off of it, kind of get it lit better. So that's kind of the best way. But if you do it wrong, not to worry, it will go away after 30 seconds to a minute.
Okay.
And so
I'll admit it's a little intimidating. When you're looking at it's like when we first turned 18, we started smoking. You okay?
Swishers.
Yeah, there was. Well, yeah, we tried everything.
Swisher sweet.
So it was the same thing as going to the
Black and Milds.
Yeah, Black and Milds. Like,
That's right.
No, we
Black
got
you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And then we went to there was a cool tobacco store back in Arkansas that that had good cigars and all that kind of stuff, and we tried it, and you kind of try to figure out what you're doing. Buy a couple of Cigar Aficionado magazines and be like,
when you get
There you
those all those the ones that you mentioned before, those are short filler, and so what that means is the leftover broken leaf that's on the floor when they're
chopping
making
block.
cigars
On the floor,
They don't waste that.
Yeah.
They'll sweep it up,
Sweep it up, put it in a cigar,
They'll
and that's what
roll
you're
it up,
smoking.
and they'll
Yeah.
use basically a very young tobacco to wrap it in, so it looks like a cigar. It looks good, but it's not going to taste right when you get a long leaf filler cigar where it's just all the proper fermented and aged tobacco. You'll get a much more consistent flavor and complex tasting cigar.
How long is the fermentation for?
That can be several years.
Really?
Through fermentation.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll build it up on literally on pallets, and they'll stack it up, and in the middle of that they'll put in a tube where they'll put a thermometer in, and then stack the rest of the way up, and they'll cover it with a cheesecloth type of material and keep an eye on it every so many days, or basically every day. They don't want their place burning down because the tobacco will heat up.
Really?
And they basically cook it, and it's a lot like a coffee or any process that you're doing, this fermentation process. And so and then they'll take that pallet apart, rebuild it, and keep going through that process for a matter of a few years.
Wow, okay.
Through fermentation. That changes the tobacco to where it's going to be something that you want to smoke, and the taste, get all the ammonia out of the tobacco.
Okay. Is there a advantage to hand rolled versus machine rolled, or is our machines?
Well, absolutely,
like really...
yeah. The machines are too tough on tobacco leaf,
Okay.
and so the only thing that really make them machine rolled is going to be the Class B line, your low end stuff like the
Swisher
Swishers,
Sweets,
all
Blackjack.
those little minis,
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But everything else is literally got to be hand rolled.
Okay.
And so, and then taking a craftsman to do that, and like we were mentioning Noah Rojas, rolling that makes it look easy, but
Yeah.
it's
an art
It's an
form.
art.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's so many so many parallels to craft beer.
Exactly.
It's like you
Exactly.
can have a mass produced factory product, but you end up with
We're not
Yeah.
mentioning any names, but everybody knows who it is.
Yeah, the shit you drank back in college
Yeah,
before
yeah.
you knew better.
That's right.
You
Not now. They seem to
Yeah,
know better.
all
now.
that
The
stuff.
AKA
Macro
water.
brew.
Yeah.
Yeah, seltzer water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing now. Kids, like, we're coming into a really interesting age because it's interesting because kids in college, their first beers aren't those horrible
No.
beers, right? And so I think, and I'm just speculating here, but I would imagine there's an awareness of if beer can be this good, other things in life, because that's how I've kind of approached things. Once I kind of had that aha moment with beer
Yeah.
and really dove into it, then I was like, well, what else? And then you
Right.
start looking at things like, wine and spirits, and then you're like, well, what else? And then cheese and cigars and
Well,
all. I mean,
it all comes down to enjoying life. You
Yeah.
know, it's not material things as such as the experiences.
Yes.
And that comes down to this.
And the quality
These
of the
things.
product,
Right. Your beer, your cigars, whiskey, wines, whatever it might
Boudin.
be. Boudin.
Boudin.
Good Boudin.
Good
Fontenot's Boudin.
Fontenot's
Yeah.
We
Boudin.
got some Fontenot's right
Exactly.
now.
That's right.
Shameless plug.
No, that was.
I think to what you were talking about earlier, I think the group of kids growing up now that are our kids are going to be exposed to
They're gonna-
craft beer
oh, yeah.
early.
Yeah.
So they're not going to hopefully see the something wisers and the oors and
Yeah.
And the
all those
Beast.
other beer and the beast, all that stuff out there that we grew up on.
Yeah.
We didn't know any better. We used to think that MGD was a great beer. You know, I mean, because it's
It
so
was refined,
different than
right.
Bud or the hams that you were drinking. Now there's just so many choices I think out there for beer. Much like cigars, I think that's what I love about going to a cigar shop is like going into HEB and looking at their beer section. What new am I going to try today?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
What's going to get my palate going? What's going to get in my rotation? That's what I love about the correlation between cigars and beer.
Yeah.
That's what I just think is fantastic.
Well, you know what? Though? It's kind of an awakening all the way around in a lot of things in life. I mean, I'm gonna just because I'm totally fascinated with jiu-jitsu and the fact that I'm sitting next to a black belt and it's this. But it's the same thing with like martial arts. It used to be
Just don't piss him
the
off.
Karate
Yeah.
Kid.
He'll put you in the toe hole.
he's
gone now.
He'll take you down with a toe maneuver.
Yeah. But we were like, we've gone through an awakening with that as well, where it's like now we know what real martial arts is. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not one discipline. It's not one. It's not some mysterious guy on top of a mountain with a magic touch.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't guess.
I hope not.
It's not all
I haven't
Enter
found
the
that
Dragon
yet.
kind of thing.
That's right.
But I don't know. It's just it's a cool thing that we're. I don't know. Take whichever thing it is you like, whatever it is you're into, and when you go deep, like just realize everywhere in life you can go that deep. There's
yeah.
the finer things,
Oh, yeah.
the better approach. Well, some of us can, Chris. Some of us can.
So you have to cross that threshold. First,
hey,
right?
quit-
He hasn't crossed that.
Quit,
And
quit
deep
talking
mean-
about Mike.
Deep means different things to different people, and different levels of deep, Mike. Different levels of deep. How's your calf? Doing all right? Yeah. Feeling okay? Okay.
How'd you get injured? Jumping.
Yeah, last night after the game, he was like, "Yes, oh no!"
That's when you know you're beyond your prime a little bit, right? You get hurt celebrating.
That's right.
You got injured during the
pulled
game.
something.
Injured during the game. Which part? Getting off the couch to jump.
When Springer hit that home
When
run.
they showed Kate Upton running out to Verlander. Is that-
Oh, yeah.
I might have gotten hurt there.
Oh man, what a great time to be a Houstonian, right?
No kidding.
Like, think about this right now. We're enjoying cigars. We're enjoying great beer. Our team is world champs.
Made history.
Yeah, Mike's wearing that orange jersey.
There it is.
Right.
45's hat.
Yeah.
Springer
Vintage.
jersey.
Yeah, it's looking
And,
great.
and this tap handle kind of matches, right?
Yeah,
Is there a reason there?
yeah. Is that
No,
Astro
no.
Orange?
We got lucky on that one.
There's more tap handles there, Randall,
Yes,
than
there
there were
is.
last time we were here.
Yes,
Are you
there is.
inspired, Randall, to brew a Colt 45's
We're looking into
beer or
that.
something like that?
Malt liquor kind of thing.
That was going to say that. I think that's been done.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it has.
I digress. An Astro's brew. I don't know.
That's when you
something
start. It's like a Swisher sweet.
like- Yeah,
That's
it's,
right.
see, you can't pronounce that.
think
Say that 5 times
I
fast.
can't do it.
I
Not
think
today.
Dogfish Head did a craft, malt liquor back in the day.
Craft malt liquor.
Yeah, they used like artisan corn. I guess. I don't know. It was I forget what they called it though.
You
That
got to
was a
try
while-
it. It's,
No, yeah, I'd
as a
try it.
brewery,
Just
Yeah.
once.
just
Yeah,
once,
it's like,
you might not want to put it out
Say
there.
we
though.
can't.
Yeah,
well, then
no.
that's exactly why they're going to do it. But all right, so we've got 6 taps. What's the story here in Bearded Fox? What we got as far as like you guys have been, mysteriously going about your business? What's
Yeah,
what's
I
the
mean,
latest?
basically what we've done is we've taken the time to expand our tap room. Took a lot of information from people that would come in, and offered up more opportunities as far as beers now. Instead of 4 taps, we got 6. We got the Foxpaw right now. We've got the Foxtoberfest on. Check Baby Check, and our 3 traditionals, which is the Aunt Rose, Stone Cold Fox, and the number 48.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I mean, we're going to be opening soon, and it's one of the things we'd like to do is expand not only in the tap room but the taps as well.
Yeah, no, it's great. When do you expect to officially? And can you announce yet? Is that
no? We really can't announce yet, but the inside date is 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks for a while. We understand.
I saw a movie like that once.
Yeah, we appreciate the patience of everybody out there. We get emails, we get IMs on Facebook, and it's hard to put a date on it when we're trying to finish up what we've been doing. Yeah. So a lot of it is we take in consideration that when they told us here's how many people you could have, we decided that wasn't good enough, wasn't sufficient. So we decided to expand and do the things we needed to do to allow us to have more here. So, but it's taken a little bit longer than we expected. We got only 5 of us that are really working. We all have day jobs, trying to do everything ourselves. So it's taken a little bit longer than what we thought would happen. But we're getting close.
Did you tell your boss you were going to be here today?
Oh yeah,
just an extended lunch.
My wife knows I'm here.
Okay.
So does mine.
It's the boss.
Yes, very cool. All right. Well, it is International Stout Day, and so we're drinking your Stone Cold Stout. It's a delicious, malty, dark, rich, roasty, just perfect for like the weather outside. So
Perfect. We're getting to that time of year. We're getting back into the seasonal. We'll be brewing another batch here very soon. So we've got several batches that we're getting ready to. We're doing a number 48 again. Doing the Stone Cold Fox. We're doing another Aunt Rose. So we'll be ramping up real soon.
Yeah, it's the thing with stouts though. Funny thing is, as great as they go with cold weather and like fireside, that kind of stuff, they go really good with really hot, humid weather. I don't know what it is about it.
It depends.
Because when you think about like historically, stouts, they were first brewed in like, England and Ireland, right? But they were also exported to like Jamaica and the Caribbean, where it just works with really humid. So if you're looking for something at the end of the night during the summer here in Houston, maybe while you're getting ready to watch mid-season classic with the Astros next year as we go for back-to-back.
Oh. Definitely.
That's right.
A stout is not a bad choice.
No. I mean, the thing I like about stout and cigars is both of them you're going to have to take your time. Because it is thick, it is heavy. So that ABV is not as bad. The number 48 with the pecan coffee porter I'm drinking is about a 9, and so I like to take it slow, and that's usually my choice when I pair a cigar with. Is something I'm going to take my time and enjoy.
Yeah. You're going to tell everybody that's your breakfast beer, right?
Oh yeah. Well, it's the only beer I drink.
But he takes it slow. Slow breakfast.
Yeah. Well, and cool thing about stouts though is that as they warm up, flavors
get better.
more. They get better. Get better. It's kind of like hug.
Well, see, that was the one reason why I gravitated more towards the stouts and the porters. Was I was never someone that could drink a beer cold and it warm up and the taste went away. And the stouts and the porters are the ones that I felt would last.
They open up
because they open up, get better with the time that you're
Europe,
drinking.
They do a lot of that. They don't have the refrigeration, as much. It's all room temp, and they think we're crazy for drinking cold beer.
It gets better the more it warms up.
It does, yeah.
Well, cigars, are they similar? Is there a preferred temperature? I mean, you light it, so obviously it's...
Well, keeping and storing them, pair of 70s is ideal. 70 degrees, 70% humidity. That's the best environment for them.
Okay.
And you want to keep the humidity between 68 and 72. Over humidified, they'll burn uneven. They'll draw tight because they'll swell.
Okay.
A lot of guys will light them, and as you put the heat through them, they might put a crack in the wrapper leaf, and they go, "Oh, I need more humidity." And it's just the opposite. So you actually under humidified is better than over humidified.
Okay.
And just at least it will draw right and taste right. But 68, 70%.
So, like a humidor here in Houston, does it actually take humidity out of the...
Well, usually you have your humidor inside a room. So the air conditioners are designed to dehumidify that room.
Right.
And the humidity in Houston is way too high for cigars. The temperature is way too high. and so you run air conditioning, and therefore you've got to have a humidor that you have to control, and you want to keep that. It's hard to keep it at 70 degrees, in August.
Yeah.
But as long as it's less than 80 is ideal. 80 degrees is kind of the magic number to where there's larvae in tobacco. It's just natural.
Yeah.
And those tobacco beetles can hatch. And that's usually about 16 or so days.
What do they taste like?
And they pop. They love to eat tobacco.
Yeah.
And they,
Like chicken.
it doesn't have to be consecutive days. It could be a day here, a day there. And then eventually they might hatch, and if you get a tobacco beetle problem in your humidor, it could be a big problem.
Yeah.
Huge.
How do you manage your personal humidor? Do you use Bovitas or do you go traditional? With
In mine at home,
Yeah, your home one.
Yeah, I used the brick that came with it, and I
Okay.
used the PG solution, which is propylene glycol, and then I used Bovita packs, which are great because they're
Right.
two-way humidification. They control the humidity much better than anything
easier,
else.
right? It's just kind of
It's an
throw
easy
it in.
no-brainer. You throw
It's
it
an
in.
electric smoker, right?
It gets all dried out. It's crispy, and you throw it out. You get a new one. So
Mike, are you writing all this down? We can go back and listen.
that's right.
It's fine. We got it recorded.
Oh,
That's good.
thanks for reminding me
What? Did you?
that I'm actually recording the show.
Are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Now he is.
As of the entire time?
You just push the record button.
That's right.
Just pushed it. Yeah.
Start now.
I didn't miss anything.
Okay. All right. So for somebody like Kennedy here, who doesn't really smoke cigars, what would you say first off? Like, he's new. He just walked into the store, and he just kind of awkwardly shrugs and looks awkward like he normally does. He's
Well,
like,
to say I don't really smoke cigars means I never.
right. So you've never smoked
I
one?
would
Never
no,
tried one before.
No,
Are you going to smoke one now?
I think you
I was-
are now.
You wanna
Whether you
smoke
realize it or not, you're smoking one now.
Yeah, I was just telling Randall I've never smoked like a good cigar, ever.
Which means, have you ever smoked any cigar?
Yes, like a Swisher or Black and
That
Mild,
wasn't
something
hollowed
like that.
out with-
Not really a real cigar.
No comment.
All right. Well, can we get? I want to watch Kennedy awkwardly.
I should I sit down?
Yeah, grab it. Yeah, Mike.
I mean,
hobble and
Are you
grab him.
wavering?
Can
I
you grab him
mean,
a chair?
It's like a class, right?
Yeah.
You could do this over at Lone Star. You could set yourself up
We
with a
could.
class on how to cut.
Oh yeah.
Cut a
I would
light.
attend that
we
for
do
sure.
cut
Beginners.
lights. We do actually like tastings to where the like Davidoff, they'll come in and the components that I talked about, filler, binder, wrapper leaf, and they'll have 4 cigars and a sheet out there, and that your first cigar is all filler leaf, and your second cigar is all binder, third cigar is all wrapper, and then the fourth one is all 3 combined into one, and so you can kind of taste what those components taste like, all together.
Like a smash beer.
Like a smash beer, yeah. And so, and that's kind of fun because, when you taste the components on their own, you get a lot of bitterness or a lot of sweet or whatever it might be. But when they come together, and that shows you what type of art it takes to make it, just like beer.
Yeah.
And, you could put 3 things together that, you wouldn't think would work, and it just magically does. Or 3 awesome things go together and doesn't work. And so that all just takes time and experimentation. So
Cool.
But yeah, just someone new coming in. Just start out with usually something mild, but you never know. You could gravitate all the way to a full-on Maduro or a double Ligero. And Ligero leaf is the top leaf of the plant. It's going to be very strong, and so your palate, everyone's palate's a little bit different. And so
do you
finding that out is the key.
Do you ask questions on like what kind of flavors you're typically into? Does it translate if he's into, I don't know, what are you into? Like chocolate?
Well, we do have flavored beer. I mean, flavored cigars.
Yeah.
That you could do
Or
flavor.
roasty? Like, do you like coffee? How do you take your coffee?
Uh,
Do you drink coffee?
Not really,
Mocha
but
latte.
but when I do drink coffee,
Red Bull, no.
yeah, I'm definitely more of a Red Bull
Do I
guy.
have like a Red Bull
Cigar.
inspired cigar?
No, but coffee, tons of cream, tons of sugar.
Tons of cream.
Connecticut
Yeah,
man.
that's the only way.
Yeah, there you
that's
go.
the only way I can do
He's
it.
going
So
to
I wouldn't do
Connecticut.
like a broadleaf Maduro, very rough
Wet.
cut. That's like a straight up black coffee type of guy. But
me.
but smooth,
Double
creamy,
espresso,
you could do,
kind of thing.
Yeah, you could do a Connecticut shade wrap cigar, very smooth, cream and light, or you could go straight into a chocolate flavored cigar. Or there's Acid is a brand. They make they're very perfumey in their aroma, but very sweet in the taste.
Can we let him try one of these? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Which one you want to go?
Oh, he's going
Pilsner,
Connecticut.
Amber,
Give him
or
a stout.
Stout?
No, go. He
drinking
needs
a-
to
I
go
guess-
Connecticut or
all
he's
right.
going to get sick.
I know.
And wait,
I'll do the
don't,
Connecticut.
Don't inhale. No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just-
I
It's like drinking through a straw. You just kind of draw it in, taste it, blow it out.
I think
Mike-
you let
Mike,
him
what
do
are you gonna
everything,
do?
right? Give him a cutter. Give him a.
I will admit I'm a little nervous here.
You should, yeah. Well,
That's
no,
all
it's,
right.
it's, a little, it's new,
Can we
right?
cut it?
Everybody
Yeah.
starts out
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, I
Remember
remember
the
the
stout.
couple times I have
feel like
tried.
that would go best with the. Oh.
The couple times I have tried smoking cigarettes, I got really lightheaded. And
Oh,
a little,
yeah.
and a little sick.
We're going to enjoy
So-
this in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Are you talking?
I think it's better that I sit down.
Yes. All right. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So you're talking about more of a nicotine hit. So
Yeah.
and cigars can be, they're going to have nicotine in them,
But we're not inhaling it.
but we're not inhaling it. So,
Okay.
and you're going to know that when you get, when you're smoking
Hold it in firm.
a cigar and you get too much
Your hands
nicotine, you'll start
hold it like
sweating,
this.
you'll start shaking, and
Yeah,
you feel like
yeah.
you want to
Firm,
throw up.
not squishy.
And a lot of people will think, "Oh, I got to drink
hold it, put your
water
hands
or
down
a
here.
Coke or
Hold it.
something." And it's funny
Hold it right like
going
that.
down to Nicaragua and
Hold it down here
experiencing
lower.
the factory tours.
Go.
They all have
Hard.
dark chocolate, like pure dark chocolate on the
Yeah,
table,
okay. Good.
thinking that they just like that. But that's what will actually subside those over nicotine doses.
leave it on
is
Interesting.
Eating a piece of dark chocolate.
Cool.
Let's toast
So-
it first. So take this,
That
light it, and just reel in the edge.
is the cigar cut for you.
Toasted. Spin it around a little bit. I don't want to get too close. Kind of blow on it a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
So heating up.
The Chief, what is it, Red Man? Yeah, Red Man. Smells good. That's kind of what that reminds me of. You know, you just put it on your mouth.
Now you can take that. Go ahead and
This, it's just.
put it in and see.
I mean, there are individuals that they don't smoke cigars. They'll chew on them.
I've got a few guys that come in the shop. They buy boxes. They don't smoke one of them. They just chew
They
'em.
just chew them. No.
No, not at all. They don't light them at all. Just chew them.
They just take the end and slowly start chewing down the cigar.
And as
Yeah.
that gets gnawed, he'll cut that off and then chew it again. And usually buy like a Churchill, so you get about 3 chews out of that cigar. And that's a totally different experience. You know,
light
It's,
'em up.
you either like that or you don't. Not too many guys like that.
No, not at all.
I've tried it, and I
There
don't.
are
I don't
a
like
few
it.
out there though.
There are.
How gooey do you get the end of your cigar? Is that okay? I've always felt like. Yeah, like back in the day when we first tried it, it's like, man,
Usually,
we
yeah.
would share a cigar and we'd be like, oh man, you got it all gooey, jerk. But I mean, it was in our mouth, so I guess that's kind of goes with the territory, right?
Yeah, the saliva will get on there, but you try to limit that as much as possible. And as you gnaw down with your teeth a little bit, it might cause the cigar to draw a little tighter. You can always roll it,
There's
15,
a
40
moment
degrees.
here to pick on somebody, but I'm not going to.
Go for it.
Yeah,
This-
go ahead.
No, this is his first time.
No, you can make fun of me. It's cool.
Me too. I'm not.
No, not what I was going to say.
Hey,
but
you
that's-
brought it up.
Yeah, I know.
No, there's B and the B's is
Yeah,
this show is rated B.
It's like holding it and taking a toke or something. It's no, calm down.
We know where you started.
Kennedy or me?
No,
Kennedy.
me. He's probably right.
Here's the first cough. Do not inhale.
Yeah.
This is not.
It gets your attention quick if you inhale it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times already.
Done what a couple times.
Inhaled.
A
Yeah.
little more.
Yeah, a lot of people that have smoked cigarettes in the past will have that tendency to inhale.
Yeah.
Got a little
And,
tobacco on your cheek, left
Yeah,
side.
it'll
It's all right. Taking care of you.
it'll get your attention pretty
Yeah.
quick though.
Now I notice when I take a sip of the stout, after you really get the pepper like on your lips. You know, it's like
On the stout.
yeah, that's nice. It's like
Yeah, it kind of opens
Makes it
up
a
the
ni-
flavors.
Makes it a
yeah.
nice experience.
Yeah, when you pair them, yeah.
yeah, totally different. There's the flavor of the cigar. There's the flavor of the beer, and then you put them both together. And it's
Right. Yeah, and if you were smoking the Connecticut with the stout beer, you're going to mask one of those flavors over the other. Usually, probably the cigar because it's much lighter.
I feel like we should be dressed up differently and
Bow tie.
talking to the mic.
some background dancers.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd
Go
liven
for
it up a
Jump,
little bit.
jump up on the thing.
That's Saturday nights after
What
9.
kind of background dancers? You know,
That's right.
Yeah.
like Sissy on stage 2 kind of thing? Or?
I think Mike's got a totally different vision of what
Are you
the
going to
show
bring the
should be.
dancers?
Like Kate Upton or
How do you know about that stuff, Randall?
Yeah, he's heard about
How
it.
do you know about that stuff? You just heard about it? You read about it?
No, we discuss it here at the brewery.
Oh,
every now
okay.
and then.
That's what I thought.
Philosophical discussion.
Yeah, there you
Mike. It was Mike.
go. No name dropping. No name dropping.
I didn't say your last name.
could be any Mike.
He might be a brewer, though. I don't know.
So, is there a proper way to hold a cigar? Like,
Yeah. Because I don't think I'm doing it right.
Yeah. You don't want to hold it like a cigarette or anything, but yeah,
Or anything else of
in
that
your,
nature.
in your hand, thumb underneath, index finger over top, with, along your middle finger. So that's kind of the best way.
Oh, all right.
How did Churchill do it? Isn't he kind of like the patron saint of cigar smokers?
Yeah, however he did it was just right, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just always had it in his mouth. I don't think he ever held it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How about the trivia question now?
He was
you need?
usually pictured.
You probably
Stout.
know this. Why did they put a band around a cigar?
Yeah. Why do they put a ban other than
It's
branding?
marketing.
Partly, yes, but originally, do you know this?
I held.
This is deep. This goes way back.
That I don't know.
So it's because you did not want to get the tobacco on your white gloves back in the day. Believe it or not.
Cigar nerd there.
There's a cigar
There
nerd.
you go.
That's cigar nerd.
That's all right.
There you go. That makes sense. It was
I-
functional.
That's right. It was functional. It was more
That's why we're
functional
doing
than
the
anything
show.
else.
And
right?
now it's just become pure marketing.
That's
'Cause,
right.
You know, I tell people that come into my store all the
There's
time,
a
if we
nice
took the bands
small
off.
label here on this one.
Yeah, that
I'm
covers
not
the
sure.
entire cigar.
Does this come off when it gets closer?
Yeah, so when they put bands, and talking about bands on a cigar, they'll use a glue. And so some of that gets onto the tobacco leaf itself. If you take it off in the beginning, you can either pull some of the cigar wrapper leaf itself off of the cigar, or it cause a hairline crack that might cause an issue later for it to unravel. And so usually what you want to do is smoke the cigar for a good amount of time, getting a little bit closer, and that heat will
Loosen
melt
the glue a little
loosen
bit,
the
yeah.
glue, and when you pull it off, then it's then it comes right off.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. I feel like I'm learning.
I do too.
good.
Feeling
This is actually like
sophisticated a little
yeah.
bit.
This is
No.
actually like a really enjoyable experience.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know how it comes
Exactly.
across on
Yeah.
the stream.
Yeah.
But I would recommend everybody go grab a cigar.
Cigar and a stout.
Yeah. That's what you should
Enjoy
be doing.
celebration
If you
of
were
the
here,
Astros
it'd be
winning
really
the World
nice.
Series.
Yeah, why aren't you here? Wherever you are.
Get here-
Have we
get here
noticed
quick.
any comments on the? Are we checking those out at all?
Yeah, I'm checking it out.
Anybody?
Kind of stopped.
Oh,
It's just us that made comments.
okay. It's just us. We
Yeah.
just comment on our own.
Soun's great.
That's fine.
We like it.
Hey,
No,
we sound
nothing
awesome.
really.
These guys are great. Any cigar if you have cigar questions, if you're watching
Yeah,
there,
I
Please,
posed
call
that
it.
question.
you
Somebody's
intend-
asking
Fire 'em
about
off.
hop cigars.
hop cigars. Yeah, could you do that? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think it's
Well, I
possible,
think it's
but
going
I don't
on
think
now.
anything's
Hops
been.
is part of a familiar family that some of us know, so they kind of do hops stuff.
Yeah.
So
They age it maybe in hops. I don't know. I mean,
Well, going
put it in a
to
barrel or
Perdomo, he kind of started off with the whiskey cigars, and so he buys his barrels from Buffalo Trace, and he will ferment the tobacco in a bourbon barrel. And so, going down there and pulling the lid off of that, smelling bourbon tobacco was
kind of like
just
a bourbon stout.
amazing. And so it really flavor it like bourbon, but it just made the cigar leaf very smooth and overall tone. So it's limited.
What's the difference between like a V cut and then the punch, and like, what do you prefer?
I prefer guillotine cut.
Just
You
how
get
I
a better
consider it.
draw through
Yeah.
it. But V cut also gives a very good draw. You get a deeper cut with a V cut.
Okay.
So if you try to get that same depth on a guillotine cut, talking about the caps that I talked about earlier, if you cut too much of those caps off and get the tobacco to unravel, you might get a good draw, but you might have to deal with unraveling wrapper leaf.
Yeah.
So so the V cut kind of gives you that without risking the cigar to unravel on you.
What was your first cigar? I mean, if your dad was in the business, I guess you had access
My
to
first premium cigar.
it.
There you go.
Overall, did you have to sneak it?
Overall.
Like, did you sneak it like everybody else did? Like,
You just stole it, yeah. No, I think he actually gave me one when I got my driver's license,
yeah.
and so it was an Avo Classic. It's very good. It's made by Davidoff. Avo Uvasian. That's where people call it AVOs or something. To get it wrong all the time. But Avo, he just passed away. He was about 92 years old. Dude smoked like 12, 13 cigars a day.
Wow.
I'm sure they're
Wow.
going to say that smoking killed him.
You finally got him.
But yeah, and he was a very interesting guy. He was a pianist. He was a musician, and he actually wrote or was part writer in Strangers in the Night. So,
really?
Guy was just a fascinating guy.
Yeah.
And so a lot of his cigars were themed after piano and music. And so anyway, the Ava Classic, very smooth, light Connecticut shade cigar, but very complex and nice tasting. So
never forget your first, right?
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
All right, so when you got
I remember
a little
her.
bit of uneven
Cigars. No.
draw, not
Yeah.
draw, but what would you call that? Like where the bottom's a little bit out further than the top there. How would I write? Does it matter?
Yeah, you just use the lighter and just kind of even it out with it. So if it's burning uneven,
Touch it up.
And sometimes that happens when you're smoking a cigar. When I'm putting up Christmas lights or so on the house, and I'm smoking one, I always the wind's blowing and I'm puffing on it wrong. That will cause that to happen. Versus just sitting in a chair.
Just touch it.
Yeah, just get it lit.
Yep.
You won't hurt it.
Like that.
God, you can hold on.
Yeah, get in there and puff on it a few times.
I'm notorious for that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Someone said spin it while you're smoking it.
When
You can do that.
Does that work?
You can
when
do
I
that.
roast it,
Keep
that's what
rotating it?
I rotate it when I'm initially lighting it to roast
Right.
it. Yeah.
But even when you're smoking, or no? That's what someone told me.
You can, and that comes down to when it's in your mouth and you're gnawing down on it. You can kind of flatten it out, tighten the draw. So if you turn it, 15 degrees or a quarter or whatever, you can open it back up and get a better draw on it. And so, but you could just use the lighter to kind of roll it around this way and just even out your burn.
How's that wireless camera going? Is it good?
Yeah.
Look at that. Cigar cam? Did you put cigar cam on it? Or does it still say beer cam? No.
It says beer cam.
It's all right.
It's fine. There's beer, too. Can anybody do smoke rings? How do you do smoke rings?
No.
Let's get right into that advanced.
That's another art form. It's very difficult to do. I have a customer that can do them. We call him Smoke Ring Joe, and I don't know how he does them so well.
It's practice.
It is. It's practice. You just kind of have to.
I can do bubble rings in the water.
It's an embouchure of your mouth.
Does that count?
Did he
Whole
play,
nother
did he play
topic.
a trumpet or something?
Yeah, if you played an instrument, like a wind instrument,
Yeah.
you might be able to do it better.
I played trumpet and French horn back in the day.
There you
It's
go.
been
You might be able to.
almost 2 decades now, so
I played
little
saxophone.
rusty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of remember.
Yeah, right? Kennedy, were you in the band?
No, I was not.
Mike? Dean?
No.
Yeah.
course.
Percussion.
Okay. No, I should have known that.
Percussion.
You kind of
Percussion.
have that.
That rawness,
Hey, man.
wild.
Yeah. He was kind of a
beating stuff up.
rock and roll kind of dude. Yeah.
John Bonham style.
There you go. Exactly.
All right, let's talk about Astros for a moment while
Oh,
we
yeah.
while we puff on these cigars and drink this delicious beer. What was y'all's favorite moment of the World Series?
Game 5.
Game 5.
I mean, like we were talking earlier, when Springer made the attempt to be aggressive on that play, and
that five?
I think it was.
That was Game 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
he dove out to catch it and he missed it.
Missed it, and then comes right back up. First pitch, puts it in the stands, and that's when I kind of had a feeling that things were going to go our way.
Yeah.
I didn't want to jinx it, so I didn't say a whole lot. But that's kind of when I got that feeling that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
So
It was listening on the radio. I'm kind of mixed because driving home last night. To hear the analysis, you like hearing the replays over and over
Exactly.
again, and then you're just kind of sitting there thinking, like, "Oh man, I can't believe this actually happened." I had that moment when I woke up this morning. I was like, I was looking at my phone, like that actually happened. That's actually they won. That's crazy. That's like that doesn't happen in Houston, but now it does.
no, I mean
That is amazing.
It hit me this morning basically because you. Like I said, I don't want to say a shock, but you're over the thrill of it all. And then this morning I sat down and revisited the time when I stepped into the Astrodome in '75 when they played the Padres for a doubleheader. And Cesar Cedeno hit a home run in each of the games. And, the roar of the crowd, I was hooked then.
Yeah.
And, I've been to Fenway to watch the Yankees in the Boston. And, you see the curse of Bambino and the curse of the GOAT go away in our lifetime, and then you get to see your hometown baseball team win it. That's an experience.
What did we have a curse, or did we just
No,
not win?
just a Houston curse.
Just not playing well.
Just
Yeah,
a blanketed
yeah.
curse
We're just
on all our.
The media always pushing us down. that curse kind of thing.
Dude, that was the thing to watch.
Jesus.
Joe Buck.
Please don't mention his name.
But the thing is,
That guy.
Did you see how
Yes.
quickly he turned around once we did win? He's like he bandwagoned so
Jesus.
quick. It's like,
Yeah.
I guess he knows we're going to be
we
back.
beat the 3 highest paid baseball teams in baseball
Where do we rank?
we beat
Think
them
about
up.
that.
18.
You beat the
Yeah, we're
Red
number
Sox,
18.
the Yankees,
And
and
the
the
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
in order.
There's 1, 2, and 3.
And those are historical clubs.
Yeah.
So
They buy their
if you
talent.
said you
It's
had
e-
yeah, absolutely. But they're historical clubs.
They
Clubs
are
that have been around
historical.
forever.
Yep.
And you beat all 3 of them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
and they're always
who's
good.
done that?
And the market sizes. If we
Nobody.
could have just beaten Chicago, some Chicago team, we would have gotten the
Yeah.
top 3 ahead of us. And,
Yeah.
I mean, because
And it all would have been different with the Indians in it.
Yeah.
They were a force.
yeah, I'm glad.
I think that worked in
our.
our favor because we had trouble with the Indians all year. And to have New York, granted, it went to Game 7, but I think we were paired better with New York to move on.
Absolutely.
So,
Styles make fights.
Oh,
We-
exactly.
We styled up well, for their style.
I was worried about this series though.
I was
Dodgers, the sticks, the pitching,
they're
the way they use the
just so good.
analytics too.
Yeah.
Your starting pitcher, you go 4 innings, you're out.
Yeah.
The numbers tell me to get you out. And
The whole-
it
the
was
whole different-
working at home, until
10, 15 years ago,
the bats woke
they
up.
rode with a hand. If they
Yeah.
felt he was doing well, they left him out there.
Yeah, and then if we have a game 8,
Yeah.
I mean, they probably win, right? I mean, it just right. Game 8, they go best of 9.
Well,
it's
one
like-
thing with
4 and
with,
4, I don't think would win it,
with
but
all
that's all right.
7 games, they were
they'd win it in 9.
There you go.
each game was so different.
It really
you
was.
know?
But I
And-
mean,
and-
like they talked about, both teams won 100 games,
Mm-hmm.
and they showed why they won 100 games. They never give up. You know.
Two best teams in baseball, so you don't often see that.
And the best
Someone
one
usually
won.
catches fire in a bottle, and
Yeah, number
runs
one
a little bit.
offense. You
Yep.
know, it was good. I
And
enjoyed
when
every minute
Verlander
of
came
it.
out in game 2 and is yelling at the guys in there, he's like, "This isn't over." And
That,
it was,
that's
you know,
see, I'm from Detroit, so just seeing Justin
So am I.
Verlander win
Yeah.
after being frustrated watching the Cardinals beat him, and he'd been in the World Series a couple times. This guy was money.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just wish the Astros could have given him a few more runs. What did he get? 2 runs in 2 games? That's
Yeah.
not enough. And that guy was a witch out there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
oh, he was a
He's one of the
surgeon.
reasons I think they got there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the,
no
definitely.
doubt.
the big wins,
No question.
Before that,
I mean, honestly, without him, I don't think they would have gotten past New York.
and the leadership that I
It
think
was one
he
of our
brought
weaknesses
too.
was our bullpen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he brought that all together.
How long do we have Verlander?
I think it was
officially?
2
Two-
more years.
2 years.
You mean
Yeah.
Mr. Upton?
I think it was. I think it
2
was
more
Kate
years.
Upton.
They got
more than
they're
Justin.
getting married
Justin
too. They
Upton.
announced last night.
Are they?
Well, I mean,
Korea,
after the Rock that came out, I mean, he had to step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Go, okay,
Well, Miss Upton makes a little bit more money than him, though. So
exactly.
she's better.
Kind of
looking.
like that New England guy.
Oh yeah,
New
That's
England
not a-
guy?
Yeah,
we
it's not
don't. Please don't bring him up.
No,
not
I
a bad
didn't say his name.
I would gladly be in that situation. But,
Exactly.
if my wife wants to make 4 times what I make,
I'd be happy with that.
super
Yeah, I'll stay
comfortable.
home.
Super comfortable with that. What are the hours of Lone Star? When can people come by? And
We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 10,
Okay.
and Sunday noon to 6.
okay,
So
all the time.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the Vintage, man, it's kind of the hot spot.
kind of hopping. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of good restaurants and a lot of different places in there. Kind of fun.
Now, if somebody wants, so let's say they get go watch a movie, or they go out to eat or whatever at the Vintage. They're walking around, and then they're looking for a place after dinner.
Yeah.
They say, hey, let's go get an after dinner cigar. You have the lounge there, right?
We do it as a members lounge right now.
Okay.
My idea is to expand and make a further members lounge, and then make a free lounge. And essentially, if you buy a cigar, have it there.
Mm-hmm.
But that quote unquote free lounge is the patio right now.
Okay.
And so we run into that a lot on like a Friday night. You
Yeah.
know, people after dinner, and we don't have a whole lot of people haired up about wanting to sit down in the lounge. They'll bring the cigar home, or join on the patio, or go smoke it on another patio where they're going to have dinner or drinks.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, this time of year, though, this is perfect outside.
Oh, it
of the
is
patio.
beautiful.
Yeah. And talking about smoking a pipe, when the weather's cooler, that's kind of the most enjoyable time to.
You can
Do you
sit out
smoke
there and
enjoy
take
a
your
pipe?
time.
Do you smoke both, or you just strictly cigars?
Both, mostly cigars though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got about 3 different pipes that I enjoy smoking every now and then.
What style of pipe do you prefer? Do you have multiple styles, or
I've got a Peterson.
The Gandalf.
No Gandalf pipes. No. I've got a Peterson pipe. That's made in Ireland. So it's Irish briar. So all the wood on a pipe, they're always briar wood. That's the wood that can actually withstand that little fire that's going on in there. And it takes a very long time to grow that. It's a root that grows in the ground. It could take up to 80 years to grow it.
oh wow,
And so how straight the grain is will depict a lot of what the price is going to be, but then an overall construction. And so on Peterson, we always order their system pipes, and their system pipes are where the cutout is above and the draw is below, so you don't need a filter. A lot of pipes use filters, and you don't need a filter in that pipe. And then the stems that I order are the P-lip, to where the smoke hole's on top, so it's kind of hitting your palate, rolling around, versus right on your tongue. A lot of pipes can be bitey because it's hitting your tongue.
yeah,
And I also have a Savinelli. That's an Italian briar.
okay.
They use the balsa wood filter system. So when talking about filters, they don't actually filter the smoke. It's not designed for that. It's designed to get the moisture out of the pipe. Saliva, talking about the end of your cigar or
Yeah.
a pipe. Get saliva down in there, and
Right.
it'll mix with the tobacco, and then drawing that through in your mouth could be a little bit bitter and nasty. But so the filter helps eliminate that. Also eliminates if you smoke the bowl all the way down, a hot piece of tobacco flying up the stem will go right in your mouth. So yeah. But on mine, I just took that filter and threw it away. Don't even use it.
Yeah. Well, when I came in, it was recommended to me. I was like, I think I want to get a pipe, but I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, corn cob's great. It's cheap and it's got the filter.
And it's lasted.
Yeah, it'll eventually burn out, but they smoke well. Cool smoking pipes is really the goal in what you're looking for in a pipe. And, you can smoke what I mentioned, Piccadilly, before. And it's a very smooth, mild, non-bitey tobacco. And you can smoke that in a low-end pipe and a real high-end pipe. And where that high-end pipe's going to smoke it much cooler, you'll get a lot more of the flavor and complexity out of it versus, more of the bitter. As you heat a tobacco up, it could be bitter. Same thing with a cigar. So a lot of guys are talking about doing a puff a minute on a cigar. If you just hotbox the thing, it's going to get bitter and not as good.
Yeah.
And if you slow it down and take your time and enjoy it, like the finer things in life, and enjoy that taste and flavor.
What about shoving the end of your cigar into a pipe, which I've done with my corn
You can do
cob.
that. A lot of guys do
because
that.
you take it right down.
You can smoke the whole darn thing.
Yep, that last third sometimes is intense.
It's like, hey, there's at least another $1 worth here.
Absolutely. But it's just fun to...
But it is. A cigar tends to intensify throughout.
Right.
Because the heat, as it gets closer. And so that's usually why that's occurring. Yeah.
Let's go check. Go other end of the spectrum. Let's just see what happens. Turn it on.
Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, turn it on his head today.
Oh man,
I'm crazy.
Crazy
I went stout, now
Crazy.
I'm going Pilsner with mine.
You ever watch Jim Brewer do the talk of alcohol? Where you can mix up all the beers you want. He's like, Sam Adams and Bud Light. And he's like, yeah, he's crazy, man. And he's talking about the liquors, and your stomach's the bouncer. And and they're all like, okay, you can come in. And Tequila says, hey, man, we're just here to party. And he goes, all right, you can come in. And like 9 of his friends run in. And he goes, all right, everybody out. No, not that way. The way you came in.
That's right.
That's true, though.
It's true, yeah.
I love tequila, though. Like high-end, like that's another spirits, like high-end tequila.
That's a sipping, tequila. Yeah, and people don't realize that. You hear of Patron and all these other ones, and those are not really all that sipping. But a real high-end tequila can be
like what's a
nice sipping one.
I don't think I've ever sipped tequila.
Like,
shoot it.
Is Don Julio still considered? Is there any?
Yeah, that's high-end.
Yeah. Okay, I had
1,600.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's
$14.95 or something they got.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. You put it the way it was recommended on the internet, right? Because I'm like, I gotta get the proper glass, like almost like a flute or a champagne type glass. Anyway, it worked. It's good though.
Yeah.
Experimental drinking.
Yeah, that's right. It's good.
It's only one way to know if you're gonna like it.
Yeah,
it's like beer and cigars.
I did. I like
exactly.
It a lot. What do you think, Kennedy? Now that you're deep into that cigar,
it's good.
Yeah.
Actually,
we might need to
feeling just a tad bit lightheaded. Is that supposed to happen?
Well, I mean, you are drinking beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit. Combination of both.
You're taking the oxygen away, and
All right.
No, but
I don't
that's
feel
fine.
But it does
that's
go
a perfect,
away
nice,
quicker,
lighter
No.
cigar for you, to start with.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm about to fall out of my chair, but
Yeah, please don't.
just
Don't smoke the Maduro.
just a tad bit lightheaded. Now, do you build up a tolerance over time?
Yeah, like anything else. Yeah, you do.
How often do you relight your cigar?
If
just
it
talk
goes
a lot.
out, if it goes out. I mean, you really don't need to. Otherwise, like over-humidified cigars are going to go out more often, where you have to relight them. So if it's at the right humidity level, you might be able to let it set, and we can talk for a minute and a half, and it shouldn't go out.
Okay.
So
I know we might need to make this a part of the podcast. Maybe not
Really?
every time.
You
Highly recommended.
Really? We're gonna
always.
smoke in your house.
No, we'll move it out to the garage.
There you go.
every few
Or,
times.
hey, come here.
Yeah, we could just come here.
Yeah,
What do you think?
it's a good idea.
Doesn't hurt my feelings.
The new home.
Just leave a key under the mat.
Yeah, there
we
you
live
go.
here now.
The extension of the man cave is here
There we go.
Yeah,
You don't living in a van down by the river.
You don't want to do that.
by the river.
I'm going to move in.
'Cause your wife will throw you out of the house
Yeah.
if you smoke in the house. It's just no good.
It's fine. Just moving into the Fox. It's fine. Just sleeping under the bar.
That's right.
Well, just turn the light on when you leave.
Yeah, we got a cot on the other side.
Do you?
Yeah.
I guess sometimes you got fermentation happens, right? And then you got to be there to.
Fermentation, a little drinking. I mean, I'll go take a nap.
Yeah. Sometimes you got
ferment
to
a little
rack,
bit.
3 a.m. or whatever.
8-hour kind.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this though, I need another hand right now.
For what? Are you enjoying it that much?
No, because okay,
Mike?
one
He
hand
needs
is
an
That
ashtray.
opened the
no,
door for
one hand's devoted
Should've
to
brought an
the
ashtray.
cigar. Right hand's devoted to cigar. Left hand's devoted to drinking.
Oh, you got to switch.
And then I got buttons to push too.
Yeah.
Look,
So
It's
that's
multitasking.
kind of cool, right
Wait.
there. That's
hey, wait a minute.
there it is.
Oh,
Call
that's
me
much
crazy.
better.
There you
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Look at that. Good job.
Yeah. All right.
Feeling it? Mike? What do you think? Yeah? Are we like, all right,
Yeah.
yeah. Are we here? Is this like where we're at now? We're like cigar dudes now? Yeah. What do you call it? Like just
Cigar aficionado, connoisseur.
connoisseur?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're joining the club.
There you
If
go.
that's okay. If y'all have it.
Definitely
Welcome.
not.
I don't want to just like crash the party, but
No,
Yeah,
don't worry
it's
about
the
it.
only way to do
Hey,
it. It's
this
just
party you can crash anytime.
just to do it. And it's like craft beer, whiskeys, anything else.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, this cigar I'm smoking right now, how much is this going to run me? Wanna go buy
They
one?
ran about $8-9
Okay.
range. Individual, yeah. The packs are about 27, so it's a little bit better buying it by the pack. It's like anything in quantity.
or the box.
Or the box.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
Box of 24.
All right. Well, you know what?
I think I want to get me a cigar. Get some
Yeah.
cigars
Need a
now.
humidor.
Get a
too.
humidor.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Cutter,
Hey,
lighter.
hey,
That's the thing.
He'll walk you through the
There's
process.
so
at Lone
many
Star,
cool
so.
things to get with cigars.
It's like
There
it's
are.
like home brewing or something like
It
that.
is.
Once you take
I
one
mean,
step,
the
and
thing
then,
about cigars, you can nerd out real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Buying everything that goes along with it.
Yeah.
It's always fun. I've got
there's a lot
I've
of
got
stuff.
2 humidors at the house. One I put the quality cigars that I know I want for special occasions, and then the ones that I could say, I'm going to take to the deer lease. I'm going to go to the golf course or whatever. So
you know what? I don't play golf, but that's one of you can drink beer and smoke cigars while you play golf.
golf is one of the best places.
I can use my cigar to kind of line up the ball.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly.
While I'm swinging the club, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe we should give golf another look. What do y'all think? You just want to go to Top Golf after this?
So if I was to buy this 4-pack, would we need a humidor for that?
Actually, that pack has a humidification packet in it.
So I could
So,
just leave it out in the living room.
It's good
or-
for 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just seal it back, and it's good for 6 months at a time.
Would you allow smoking in your living room?
No.
How about the pool?
Yeah, by the pool, sure.
How's your pool looking?
No, about its colors.
Ashy.
It's colored as Kennedy's shirt.
Single dudes pool. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna have a pool.
Got a couple turtles.
Smash cut to 3 months later. It's green. There's a frog growing.
Go catfishing in it.
Yeah.
you know.
And-
Do you
and
have?
you need an ashtray, guys, too. Because I get yelled at my neighbor's house. He doesn't supply an ashtray. So we're dropping our ash all over the place. And
Yeah, you
It's
think
not-
it,
it's
you
not
think
ma-
it just goes
I'll
away, and it
yeah,
kind
it
of
does
accumulates.
go away, but he gets up in the morning and he looks at it, and sometimes
It's not
in the
Mayor
car-
Bob, is it?
It's Mayor Bob.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mayor Bob in the neighborhood. We
He
have
complains
his place
about
is the
everything.
ice house.
Yeah.
He smokes cigarettes like he's a chimney, and we come over there with cigars. Get him out of the garage. All the cigars stink. I'm like, you're smoking
I mean,
a
I thought he would
cigarette,
be. I
dude.
thought he would be here today.
I don't know. It's not after dark. He could get in trouble.
There you go.
All right. Well, kind of that's an hour. And
Already?
yeah, I kind of just want to
Wow.
like
Gotta like those.
cut the show and just kind of hang out. Smoke cigars.
Yeah.
Oh, we can still record.
We could, but do we, I don't know. Just kind of want to hang out and
Finish your
I
cigar.
talk
I
about
mean,
that
maybe-
in my store too, and when people come in, we all the boutique blends like Rojas and Eligione, Tatuaje, those are the micro brews of the cigar industry, and that's kind of fun versus your mainstream stuff, which would carry, and I'll call Romeo and Juliet the Miller of the industry,
Right.
and then you get into the boutique stuff where it's just kind of fun and there's a lot more taste and flavor.
I mean, I have a question, and this is a preference that I do. When I buy a cigar, I never smoke it immediately. I take it home, rotate it out. I mean,
Put it in your humidor and let it sit.
and let it sit
Yeah.
for 2, 3, 6 months to a year before I even
cigar
touch
does
it.
well doing that.
I know.
You don't really need longer than 2 years, but you
Yeah.
can keep them 20, 30 years if you
Yeah.
want in the right
Yeah.
conditions.
Yeah.
And a cigar will get milder over time.
Okay.
When it's fresh rolled, we didn't talk about that. A fresh rolled cigar, you can smoke in the first 24 hours. All that tobacco together, is great. And you say, hey, great, give me 5 of those. I'm going to take it home, and the next week or the week after that, you smoke it, and you're like, it's not like what I tasted.
Completely different, yeah.
Because all that leaf is now fermenting together, and that's usually a 90-day process. They call that an aging room, and that will get all that ammonia taste is what you're tasting. It's bitter.
Can you talk a little bit more about I guess I may not be pronouncing it right, but plume?
Yeah, plume is the oils that extract through the wrapper when it's properly aged and humidified. And it looks like a white dust.
Yeah.
And a lot of people accumulate that towards
It's mold.
And
Yeah.
I had a guy throw his whole humidor out, and I'm like, dude, they were perfect.
Yeah, they were the best cigars you're ever going to smoke. And
that's
you
the
threw it
cigar
away.
telling you, I'm ready to
I'm
smoke.
prime.
I'm
Yes.
prime. Yeah.
Little communication, and if you don't know that,
mold
people
will be
think
green and fuzzy.
Yeah.
Like a real kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Like plume's like a
Mike's
white
pool.
dust.
Yeah.
Like Mike's pool.
Yeah.
We can go fishing over there.
Yeah. That's very cool. Well, this has been fascinating and educational and relaxing.
Good. Yeah.
And,
Do more of these.
Inspiring. Yeah. Maybe
See
we
you tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Daily.
The show's gone daily, so we'll
We got a Tonight Show.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Come on down to the club tonight because
do,
it's Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah. There we go.
Who needs
Smoking
food?
and drinking after class tonight.
There you
That's
go.
what we do every Thursday.
All right. Well, I encourage everybody listening to try cigar and beer pairing. And, if you have any questions, call Forbes at Lone Star Tobacco.
Yeah.
Stop in, say hello.
Yeah. Stop and say if you're in the Houston area. If you're in,
Want
do
me
you
to
know of any
plug it
good
at all?
like Austin or San Antonio or Dallas stores? We have listeners all across the state. So.
Yeah, in Austin, there's Havana Cigars, and they've been around there a long time. I think they have 2 stores, and Jim Harrison runs those stores. Very good store. And then in San Antonio, Club Humidor. That's run by Keith and Tiffany Rumbo.
Okay.
They have 5. Thousand Oaks, San Pedro, Huebner, and the other 2 stores. There's one down like in the Riverwalk in a hotel.
Okay, I think
They're
I've seen that one
fantastic.
before,
They're TAA,
Yeah.
which we are as well, the Tobacconist Association of America.
Oh, is that like the Brewers Association?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Yeah, there's only about 71 across the nation. There's 5 here in the state of Texas, 2 here in Houston, 2 in Dallas, 1 in San Antonio. And
Okay.
so there's specific manufacturers that are part of that. There's about 34 manufacturers that will make exclusive series product to the brick and mortar stores. So Tatawahe, Rocky Patel, Padron, they'll make a very specific blend that are only sold in those stores. Very good. So yeah,
It's like a brew pub,
Yeah.
cigar pub,
It is.
cigar.
Yeah.
Brewing
Very
smoke.
similar, man.
I don't know.
Oh, I have a
Does anybody
question.
do that? I wonder if that would. Sorry.
Smoking jackets.
Look out, he's going to break
so
out.
that
with
was-
all
that
of
was
that.
so
those
when
the
you're-
thing.
when
That's
you're
another
sitting in the
accoutrement.
lounge and you're smoking, that the
Yeah.
smoke's going to get on your clothes, and a lot of guys will wear a jacket to kind of keep all that off of their clothes.
So the smoking jacket is actually a functional thing.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
Yeah. You
Oh,
go
I-
in the lounge, you put the jacket on, you smoke, and then you take it off. You hang it back up, and then you're not quite as inundated with cigar smoke as you would have been without it.
I thought that was just to look, smooth and dapper.
It is. No, I had a guy that wanted me to do that, and I was like,
You bring your own.
"That's going to be, downtown London, type of atmosphere."
Hoity-toity.
Yeah.
Put your pinkies out. Yeah, pinkies out.
Get the white gloves so the band keeps it off
That's
your
it.
nose.
Whoa.
Absolutely.
And your monocle. You gotta
Yeah,
that
that was
make
good
sure you bring
trivia.
your monocle and your. What else do you need? A monocle and probably a derby hat.
Yeah, top hat.
Yeah,
There
some
you
guy
go.
to open the door for you.
Well, yeah, you were talking
And
about
Jeeves.
all the cool accessories you can get along with smoking. So
Yeah,
smoking
you go.
jackets,
Lighters.
smoking jacket's one of them.
What are the tells like for newbies like us? Like, what would we go to first? Would it be like is there a certain cutter? Like, oh, that's the new guy.
yeah. We got inexpensive cutters.
Yeah.
A couple $2-3 type of range.
Is there a tell for the guy that just got into it that's way over it? There's the guy that he's like, I only drink quadruple IPA,
Right.
Barrel aged.
Well, you know that guy when he comes in, and he
Yeah.
starts talking about mispronouncing different brand names or talking about leaf of the tobacco that's just wrong, and we're not gonna totally trash him over that.
The Swishers are
kind of
over
correct
here,
him.
sir.
you just say bless your heart.
Go to
That's right.
Walgreens.
And
buy
then-
them from
That's
behind
very
the counter.
nice. That's
laugh,
very nice.
Laugh at him when he leaves.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. All right. Well, this has been a blast.
Yeah.
And we do need to do this.
Oh,
we don't
yeah.
need to wait till the next International Stout Day. I think
No,
we
we
only do
don't.
one a year.
No.
We should do a Houston Stout Day and a Houston Pilsner Day. Ale day. Ale, yeah.
Every time
Oh,
the
yeah.
Astros win, we
Yeah.
can do one.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there like a National Goat Day?
I'm sure. Well,
It's coming.
We can make one.
Where I'm from,
I got
It's
an
coming.
I got an idea.
Okay.
Goat with roasted goat.
Okay.
Roasted goat.
Great idea.
No.
As the beer and
Yeah.
cigars start to hit,
Yeah.
you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some ideas.
And
are better than
Somebody
And with
call
that-
Uber.
others. I mean, it's
Maybe I
an
should let that.
it's an
one to myself.
interesting idea, but we'll just move along.
We'll pontificate on that.
We'll contemplate on that one post show, and make fun of you when you leave. I'm going to start some music here, so don't be alarmed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our. It's a long song, so we get plenty of time to talk.
Yeah.
So, overall, cigar experience, Kennedy. Your first cigar experience.
It's a good experience.
It got caught on camera.
Yeah.
You didn't pass out.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I think I want to buy a pack of cigars.
Yeah.
Buy a humidor first.
Are you going to go all one variety, or are you going to get a few others? Oh, Boudin.
I don't know.
Follow it up with a little boot in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boudin chaser.
we have to wait till we stop. I will. One of those is mine. I call it,
Needs a third
but
hand.
just not right
Calling
now.
it
I-
right away.
I call one of those.
He needs another hand.
Yeah. I've only got
a
Fourth hand.
I've only got so much stuff to do here.
He's taking a drag off a boot in right now.
There's worse things you could do. There's
There
worse
is.
things. But Boudin, are there any Boudin flavored cigars?
There are not.
No.
That I know of. No.
Soon there will
And
be
you
after
thought my
friends
goat
at
idea was
Fontenot's.
bad.
Let's get Fontenot's to do one.
hold the Boudin. Put the cigar inside
Available
the
in
Boudin.
Louisiana.
Figure something out.
Yeah. Well, it's made with gator wrapper.
Gator.
Smoke.
Little squirrel, gator.
Yeah.
You know, possum.
You have to drink it on a fan boat. It's fine.
It's awesome.
With your sister.
Oh,
Wait, what?
I don't know.
It's like kissing her.
Yeah.
Might be weird.
No.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You don't want to. Anyway. I can't speak. I'm from Arkansas. I'm sorry.
You got no say.
I got no say. I can't do that. But anyway, thanks everybody for listening today and joining us via the interwebs. And everybody that watched on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, listened on Mixler. And you can check out our podcast as well, available anywhere finer podcasts are located. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all that stuff. Mike, great job today, working through the pain.
Yeah.
He got injured
There
last
you
night
go.
during the game celebration.
Taking one for the team.
And Kennedy, great job with the buttons and the whatnots.
Yeah.
And so,
I need to invest in another arm.
yeah. Dean, thanks for joining us today.
my pleasure. Had a blast, guys.
Absolutely. And Randall, great as
As always.
always.
Thank you.
Forbes, thank you so much. So much
Yes, sir.
education. And all of you guys, thank you for joining. And we'll see you right back here next week for more amazing craft beer talk, maybe more cigar talk.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Have a.
Cigars in the studio next week?
I'll talk to my wife and see what she said.
So no.
So no.
That's a no.
No.
Well, hey, if she checks you out, we're open.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
We'll see.
we can do it
Maybe
here.
we'll just leave our stuff here.
There you
That's
go.
it.
Bring it Wednesday night and get ready.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, everybody, have fun celebrating the. Oh, is anybody going to the parade tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm
Maybe.
thinking about doing that actually. It's like
It
I
starts
think
at 2.
2 to
Two.
3.
2 to 3, yeah. There's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
a lot of people down there.
Yeah, it's
Be
gonna
a
be.
cluster.
It is. It's gonna be nuts.
Huge cluster.
If you can Uber,
Pretty crazy.
I don't know though. That's gonna be nuts. Might just watch on TV. That's kind of lame though. That's
Yeah.
when I knew I was old. I was like, that sounds fun for somebody else.
Yeah.
That's like too many people. I'm not gonna
The older you get, the less you want to be around people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I love people
Millions
just
of
as long as they're over there.
That's right.
Yeah, I like watching them.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks and
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching, listening to Liquid Lunch. We'll see you next week. And Catherine, hang in there with the sick kiddos. Ching, clink, 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 clink.
You got to get a smaller table.
Yeah, right. Long enough. Speaking of gators. All right, everybody. See you next week.
See you next week.